How you doing? Alright, doing pretty good here. Not too disturbed. Decent weather. Not too chemically in the sky. Not too disturbed except for the usual BS. Number one is ISIS. And I'd like to echo Michael's thoughts. Michael from Mox News. When he says these people are criminals, the people who incite this stuff, orchestrate this stuff, whoever they are, and the people who go along with it. So everybody in the media, everybody basically in Congress, I'm sure there's like 2 people who are nice people. You're all criminals, basically, and you should all be locked up. And the idea of the United Nations bringing peace to the world is obviously a lot of bullshit. The UN is, people die at the hands of the UN, like in Palestine there recently. Palestine? Is that what it is? Whatever that is. Palestinians. Gaza, whatever. The UN calls up Israel and says, okay, we got a lot of people in the hospital. Boom! Missiles. Okay, that's the UN for you. And I'm sure there's good people in the UN going, hey, don't do that, whatever. I'm sure there's a couple, but on the whole, it's just like the United States, just like Great Britain, it's all completely corrupt. So yeah, you all deserve to go to jail, and worse probably. Worse than that. I want to explain some of the things why I think ISIS is our creation, the United States creation. I'm going to say our creation because it's just easier. Sorry, Don't like it, you can watch some other person talk about it. So I, us, we, United States. We created ISIS. If you want to check out a good source on that, the Corbett Report. James Corbett just did a nice hour-long video about it, explaining how the supposed leader of Al-Qaeda was alive, and then we killed him, and then he's alive again, and this is the same person. Then we got him imprisoned, and then he's back in Iraq, and then he's dead, and then he's alive. Okay, I mean, it's a whole psyop. In my opinion, it's to get, I think we're all on the same page, it's to get into Syria for whatever they want to get into Syria, I don't know. I personally don't buy into resources. These people, in my opinion, control, I don't know, what, 80% of the globe? It's probably not a resource thing. It's probably, in my opinion, to guide the world into one world government, one world religion, one world whatever. One world enslavement where you're even more locked down than you already don't think you are. But anyways, even the Iraqi people believe that the United States created ISIS in Iraq. There was even a reporter reporting on that saying, the Iraqi people think that the United States created ISIS. And actually I saw, I don't know if it was the same person, but I saw 2 reports. One where she literally said that, right? And another one where it was kind of her, the first one was she said it live, but the other one was kind of canned, so that they were able to preface it by saying, and the Iraqi people think that the United States created it, basically blaming it on a power vacuum. Okay, but that's not what she's saying. The reporter's saying they literally think we literally created ISIS ourselves. Okay? So that's the power of the mass media to manipulate even their own reports. Okay, so the Iraqi people believe that it's BS. And another report, which is upsetting if you're in the Iraq military, They recently lost some territory there in Iraq, and there was some heavy fighting, and the Iraqis who were fighting are calling up to the generals and like, we need some more support, blah blah blah. Hey, help! And they get nothing, just dead air. It's another situation, in my opinion, where we have installed generals where the top-down command is screwing people on the ground. You know what I mean? We put people, if you put people up, corrupt people up in higher positions, basically your whole, whatever the organization is screwed. So if you're at the bottom, like this poor guy who's fighting off ISIS, you're at the mercy of the same slime balls who created ISIS via your own military, chain of command. So we put these generals in there, and then they had a regular army before. We slide into Iraq. We say, okay, you're out, you're in, and then when we whip up our re-insurgents, we make sure that the Iraqi troops don't get support. Okay, so that's another thing. It's bullshit, and we're supposed to go in. And that's the plan. I'm pretty sure it's the plan to get boots on the ground. It's just like World War II, right? Roosevelt kept saying, we're not going to go to war, we're not going to go to war. And his son even, this is, I don't know, someone's biography, probably his son, he said, why do you keep saying that? You know you're going to go to war. I know, but I got to say it. I got to say it. It's all political. People need to be led along. They need to. It has to be an emotional investment, and then it's okay to do it. Then they can literally get it done. So it's going to take a little more time. There's going to need to be failures and setbacks, and the whole thing is none of our business in the first place. Never should have been there. We don't owe anybody anything. Let's get the fuck out of there and call it good. If we weren't in there, I'm saying we again, if we weren't in there literally dicking around, none of this would be happening now. And another argument against the power vacuum that supposedly created ISIS, another argument is, we are the people who keep building these nations. Supposedly that's how we got Al-Qaeda, the power vacuum. We left Afghanistan, left the power vacuum. This is just an excuse they're using. You got to see that now, right? Because they can't keep making the same mistake again and again. Are we pretending that our government doesn't learn? They're not incompetent. That's the excuse they always go to. Power vacuum is just another version of incompetence. Yes, we're nation building, but we're going to screw it up because we're incompetent. So we can point to power vacuum and say, not our fault that there's an ISIS now. But there is an ISIS now, and it is our fault. And I'm sure that we're funding it. I'm sure that we're arming it. Probably not doing all these banking things that we say we're going to do to isolate them and all that crap. If anything, we're probably just funneling more money to them. And for all I know, Israel is part of these forces on the ground there too. In my opinion, all of the intelligence services are linked. That's the brotherhood right there, in my opinion. Whatever cabal is behind the scenes, all the intelligence services are controlled by that cabal. So they are the movers and the shakers. They are the ones that get the dirty deeds done. They get politicians' heads turned. Okay, they corrupt people. If they need something done, that's who's doing it. Behind the scenes shenanigans. Okay? MI5, MI6, CIA, Mossad, all that stuff. Probably KGB too. Okay? What else is up with ISIS? Oh, another problem with this ISIS, the beheadings. I don't know if conventional people watch watch my videos, but basically I'm in a community, I'm part of a community where we don't believe these beheadings are real. Okay, so if you can't live with that, probably best not watch me. Like the beheadings were staged. So I'm not gonna like analyze these things. Other people have analyzed them, why they're fake, and the media has been saying there's been a push to say that all this stuff is for recruiting, which it is in a way recruiting, but it's more recruiting not for more ISIS fighters, it's recruiting for more ISIS enemies. Because a fake ISIS needs enemies to come and bomb it. But a real ISIS would not be recruiting enemies. They may do beheadings, they may do kidnappings, but it wouldn't be a big showboat, right? They wouldn't want to do something that would get the United States to come and bomb it, right? Or they wouldn't want to go overboard out of their way. Really? And not to mention every other country too, because you got France and Germany and Great Britain. They're trying to, would they really do that? Get someone from every nationality and cut their head off? Would they really do that? Draw more down on their heads? That's not what a real terrorist group would do. A real fake terrorist group would do that. Let's get the most people worked up in the most countries so that we can go into Syria. Okay, so a fake one would do that. As far as recruiting goes, they got these white Toyota trucks, they got the fancy uniforms. That's good enough, Show them swinging on some monkey bars or something, shooting their AKs. That's always been good enough. Sawing someone's head off is unnecessary. And they didn't need to stage it in a desert. They could have done it. They could have done it in a warehouse somewhere. Nobody would have known the difference. Be just as bad. But it was all staged. It's fake. So the idea that the beheadings are for recruiting, no. It makes more sense that it's recruiting enemies. And if people tag along and start sawing people's heads off in different countries, I'm sure the powers that be will be super happy that they don't have to they don't have to fake that for themselves. They can get a few hangers on to it. Like the supposedly guy did that somewhere in the United States, I forget where. Which is no way you can tell that it even happened. Everything takes place just like Sandy Hook, behind closed doors. I don't know. Could just be a drill. Could just be BS. So easy. It's so easy. So not recruiting. And another thing, they're trying to... Right now, they're jumping on Obama's back saying, you should have known about this a year ago or over a year ago. And I think that's a lot of, it's just a story. It's just, they need something to say. There has to be contention, Because Obama is the puppet, right? He just does what he's told. So this story that he's somehow slipping is made up. Just as a backstory. Oh, you're blowing it, and then in a couple months he'll pull through and make up for it or something by throwing boots on the ground or something. Okay, Don't fall for this back and forth politics garbage. You know, he's just a puppet. He's just doing what he's told. If he's screwing up, he was told to screw up. And if people are commenting on his screw up, they were told to comment on his screw up. It's all made up. It's a hard world to get a break in. So yeah, we'll be we're already supposedly bombing Syria right now. So the whole chemical weapons thing with Russia, you know, we faked the United States, or the whole cabal, whatever. The cabal faked. The cabal said, okay, America, pretend to want to go into Syria. Really bad. This is a year or so ago. Go ahead. You know, ask senators and whatnot, make it look real. And then we'll have Russia swoop in and say, no, we can do a deal with with Assad, and we'll get the chemical weapons out, and then you won't have to bomb them, okay? All right. It's all an act. Okay. Even the going to the Congress for a vote was an act. Okay, and especially in Great Britain, where the people, I think, probably 10 times less say than we have here. But that was a complete hoax. And probably the same with the Scotland vote. I don't know. I was hoping that would be that would work out, but hope upon hope. I don't want to beat the ISIS thing to death. I think I covered all the points I wanted to on that. So I just wanted to point out a couple things with the Freene shooting, Eric Freene in Pennsylvania. Sad to say that one too could easily be a drill. I mean, you get 2 troopers, you know, 1 killed. The shooting was right at the troopers' barracks, the state trooper barracks. Okay, what kind of witnesses are you going to get? Police. You know, it could all easily be a drill, and that's the only other person that I can tell was involved might have been the people who phoned in that his truck was in the marshy area. So he had driven it into a marshy area. I didn't even see. You think you could get the press to go and take a picture of the truck in the marshy area, or take a well, they're probably locked down. Well, it's too dangerous to go out there. Whatever. So we get an old picture of a red Jeep. I don't know whose truck that is. This one's too easy to be a drill. It's also could be real, you know. But and another thing is, to me, this, as far as drills go, it's just like the Boston, where the people in Boston became Boston gay, or wimpy. That's what I mean by gay. By letting the police lock down their town and search for some false flag artist. It's all, in my opinion, it's police state practice. You gotta have some practice, you gotta know what you're doing, so you throw a drill here and a drill there, get your little police state practice, lock down the town. No, you can't go home. That was bullshit, man. They were doing interviews with a guy who was coming home from work. No, sorry, you can't go to your house. You can't go to sleep. You can't get up the next day and go to work. What? No, that's insane. That's not going to happen. You people are lame. You tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm going home and I'm going to bed. Then I'm going to get up and go to work next day because I got to feed this. All right? That's a lot of BS. You got to stand up for yourselves, man. Oh, there's a cop killer on the loose? I'm not a cop. I'm going home. And another problem with that shooting is the guy's supposedly a survivalist, and so he's run off into the woods. And when they go looking for him, the cops are all wearing camouflage, marching in a line off into the woods. This is what the media shows. You know, they could be using some footage from somewhere else. I don't know. But it doesn't make any sense to me for them to all dress up the same as the guy they're going to shoot or hunt down or whatever they're going to do with them. So that, to me, screams it's just a drill because they're not worried about shooting each other. They're not going to shoot anything. Because there's no guy out in the woods that they're going to go shoot. It's probably one of their own troopers out there pretending to be Freen or whatever. Maybe Freen's a trooper for all I know. And he's out there just dropping clues or whatever. It's just, it's a snipe hunt. It's a drill, in my opinion. I don't know. If somebody got shot, that sucks. I'm just saying, keep these things, when you hear about these things, don't just fall for it. At least have a suspicion in your mind. And it could be a drill. Oh, you know what's worse? They've got this enterovirus. 40 states. Where it's mostly kids. Have an enterovirus where they can't breathe. And it starts off like a cold. They get a fever. They can't breathe. And now some of them are getting paralyzed. But my problem with this is 40 states. You would think if it was a real outbreak of a real thing, it would be localized in a state or a couple of states. The 40 states sounds like they got it from the vaccine before they went back to school. Or when they got back to school. Vaccines are all around the United States, right? I mean, how does it, unless it's like aerosolized and they're getting sprayed from above, it's something that's administered throughout the United States. Like a flu shot or something like that. So that's suspicious, in my opinion. That's terrible. Don't do that. Now we get the Ebola thing. I already talked about that. Most people think, and I agree, kind of, that what they're looking for is to get people whipped up into taking the vaccine when it comes out, and whatever that's going to do. Probably not going to be very good. I don't want to talk too much. I already talked too much. Lots of people getting starting to lose faith in the truth movement, like kind of flagging on that. We're not going to change anything. No, I don't think we're going to change anything either. Gotta ride it out. I guess we're going to have to ride this storm out. Because people are all sleepy. And I just want to mention 9/11 real quick. Larry Silverstein. I mean, there's no way that people can hear the words come out of Larry Silverstein's mouth when he says he got the call and he was told that they decided to pull the building. He literally said this. Pull the building. Blow up the building. He said it. You can't rationalize that away. You can't put explosives into Building 7 in an afternoon. It's supposedly a building on fire and teetering. You're going to, like, send people, explosives experts, into this building? No, you're not going to do that. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. So drop it, okay? It should be smoking gun evidence to you that Larry Silverstein, the leaseholder, the owner, I'm not sure which it is, of the building, says he got a call and they got to pull the building. He didn't get a call and they said, looks like it's going to collapse in about 5 minutes from melting girders. No, he said he got a call and said they were going to pull it. Okay? And you can see a video of firemen saying, okay, everybody get out of here. The building's going to come down in a couple minutes. Smoking gun. Inside job. I don't know why. I don't know. I know. Maybe there's some reason. No. Bullshit. Okay? Smarten the fuck up. Alright, good day.
Can I go now?
I'm sorry about the delousing.
It's powdered sugar.
The lice hate the sugar.
It's delicious.
Good? Good.